Jeddah, the fastest street circuit in the world, and quite honestly, it's mad. To master this place, you need to take out your brain, switch off your fear setting, and hope the walls don't get too close. So in this video, first we're going to see an onboard lap from a pro esports driver, and then we'll delve into the specifics of how to do it. If you want to see where you can improve around Jeddah, you can get 30 days of unlimited data insights for free using the code Jeddah24TT when you sign up to Track Titan. So without further ado, let's watch the pro lap. The full telemetry of this lap can be seen on Track Titan, and you can analyse your own telemetry against it. Don't forget to use the code Jeddah24TT to get 30 days for free. Now that we've seen how the pros do it, let's slow that lap down and discuss the key points of that lap. Going towards turn 1, you should begin braking at the 100-metre board. Begin shifting down and start turning just after the 50-metre board. You should be in third gear just before the apex. If you've got the angle right, you can take this raised inside curb, but only if your car is facing the apex of turn 2. If it's not, then the curb can unsettle the car. If you're unsure, then turn slightly later and miss the raised curb. For turn 1, your minimum speed should be just around 114 km per hour in third gear. After turn 1, lift the throttle quickly before dabbing on the brake at around 30% pressure. Position the car with the right wheel on the inside of the curb at 50% throttle, then gradually reach 100% throttle before turn 3. Your minimum speed through turn 2 should be around 94 km per hour in third gear. Turn 3 is flat out, so keep your foot in it and just keep to the wall to shorten the distance. After the corner, gradually move the car towards the right hand side of the track ahead of turn 4, and you want to be braking just around the 50-metre board. This is a very short but hard braking zone. Begin turning just after this LED panel, and you want to be in 4th gear at around 188 km per hour by the time of the apex. Gently apply throttle to 75% as you move towards the exit curb, and only go to full throttle once the car is settled. Next, gently cross back over the curb of turn 5 to avoid the inside wall, and drive on the painted curb instead. Once you see this LED panel, begin moving back across the track ready for turn 6. Now we're into one of the most difficult sections of the track, as we won't be braking or lifting until turn 9. You need to focus on your line more than anything. For turn 6, don't hit the curb straight away. Straighten the wheel once you pass the barrier on the right hand side. Briefly drive adjacent to the inside curb and hug the wall until you get to the bridge. As you get under the bridge, begin moving towards the centre of the track ahead of turn 7. Next, you'll want to move to the painted curb and don't stop turning until your car is pointed directly at the outside wall of turn 8. This will essentially flick the car left, ready to take turn 8. About now, the car's rev limiter will be doing its hardest not to brake the engine in 6th gear. You'll be tempted to change up to 7th gear, but keep it in 6th for the time being. Into turn 8, hit the curb but don't drive over it. As the curb finishes, move the car to the outside of the track, and while you're still in 6th gear, briefly ride the curb before lifting to 50% throttle and turn into turn 9. Move over the inside curb and begin accelerating as your front right wheel hits that painted curb. Your minimum speed should be around 240 km per hour. Next, move off the curb just before you see the apex of turn 10 and shift to the centre of the track. This is rather specific, but as you turn around the corner, you'll see the Qatar Airways signs on the outside wall. What you'll want to do is point the car at the gap in between the last two signs, then begin turning left at the same time as the end of the painted curb on the right hand side of the track. Move the left wheel over the curb momentarily before letting the car run to the exit curb. Turns 11 and 12 are very open, so just shorten the distance in between them as much as possible. Going into turn 13, begin braking at the 50 metre board. Start turning in and trail brake towards the apex while you change down to 4th gear. As this is a bank corner, not going to the apex means you can use the angle of the track for extra grip and take more speed as a result, so your minimum speed around this corner will be about 158 km/h. Move the car just next to the painted curb and begin opening the steering when you see the white building outside the track. Move to the middle of the track until the end of the building and then move to the outside wall. For turn 14, keep to the wall and begin moving to the other side of the track to steer into turn 15 at the 150 metre board. Next, keep right to the wall at turn 16 and, once you reach the 50 metre board, blip the brake, change down to 5th gear while holding a 20% brake pressure until the apex. You'll be around 209 km/h in 5th gear at the apex. Then start accelerating to around 85% throttle and start loosening the steering as you see the outside wall of turn 17. You'll want to keep the car turning until you're basically parallel with the turn 17 inside curb, then go to 100% throttle and move the car over the curb before letting the car run wide to the exit wall. The track now opens up and, again, we want to shorten the distances as much as possible. Drive straight at the painted curb of turn 18 until you can aim at the same curb for turn 19. Then, when you reach turn 20, drive straight towards the apex of turn 21 and hold the wall until you reach the 50 metre braking board for turn 22. Downshift into 6th gear, hold the brake at 40% pressure until just before you hit the curb. Your minimum speed here will be about 240 km/h, at which you can begin accelerating towards turn 23 while briefly touching the apex curb. Let the car run to the middle of the track and aim for the painted curb of turn 24. Start moving towards the outside wall as the apex curb stops and hold the left wall through turn 25 and turn 26. As you see the outside barrier change from Qatar Airways to Armco, then gradually move the car to the outside wall. Into turn 27, hit the brakes just after the 100 metre board and turn in at the 50 metre board. You'll want to trail brake towards the apex and get down to 3rd gear. By the apex wall, your minimum speed should be about 117 km/h. Shortly after the middle of the corner, you'll want to begin accelerating and let your car run to the exit wall. Now it's a flat out run to the finish line. Don't forget that although this track is very fast, setup is key, so if you don't seem to be able to turn in as fast as this driver, take a look at particularly the front settings such as front wing, front camber, front toe and front ride height. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've learned a few tips and tricks that you can use at this circuit for yourself. Don't forget to sign up to Track Titan for 30 days free of unlimited telemetry, and as always, I'll see you again in the next video. Drive safely and race with respect.